Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As I said many times before, when you want to find the truth, you have to look at the issue from as many angles as possible. That is, in this case, read as many articles regarding the issue from as many media outlets and make sure you read from all angles, not only from one side, because you're going to find only one side of the story. And also, you will find out that when you are, let's say, reading something about eyeglasses in this article, and then you read an article about an iPad, you might find that in this iPad you will find information that really contradicts what you've been told in the eyeglasses article. Therefore, be mindful and, pay attention. Pay attention. We're talking about Bakhmut now. Bakhmut has been the hottest spot in Ukraine war for some time. And I have here an article where the Ukrainians are claiming that nothing happens over there. The Russians lost steam. And that's it. Done. The offensive has been stalled. All right, so let's see what we have here in the article with the glasses, right? So in the article with the glasses from Ukrainska Pravda, from today, March 19th, 2023, Russians attack Bakhmut by inertia, suffering heavy losses. So inertia meaning, you're really going to lose steam and eventually you're going to stop, which is you are not doing much over there. Suffering heavy losses. Now they offer you here a map, which is always good. I have a visual, and here is Bakhmut. And they say they just, not much. You see, these are kind of dangerous, ready for encirclement, but they say they stopped them. This is the article that talks about Bakhmut. You see here this little town here, right here, called Chasiv Yar. That is the iPad. So the Bakhmut thing with the inertia is my glasses article, and I will use another article talking about Chasiv Yar. That's gonna actually deny, or how should I put it, challenge the statement made in the title here. So let's see what these guys are saying first in this article. Serhiy Cherevarty, the spokesperson for the Eastern grouping of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, has stated that Russian occupiers are tactically unable to complete the operation to capture Bakhmut and suffer heavy losses during the fighting. I can agree with the heavy losses, but then you see how these things can come here and close? All right, well, let's go to the next article, which is the article with the iPad, right? So let me go back here. So remember, one was the glasses, and this is the Bakhmut inertia, and I'm going to come with Chasiv Yar article. A little bit far different, and they're going to tell you something here that will tell you that what I told you here really is not so. There are some details that might change the whole view on things. So, Ukrinform from March 19th, 2023. All children evacuated from Chasiv Yar, Donetsk region. So, all children, which I'm assuming is not going to be only children, are evacuated from here. Well, why would you evacuate them from here now and not, a month ago when the Russians were really coming over, Red Rover, and now as they are in an inertia, like inertia, nothing happens, coming, to a stop and suffer heavy losses, there should be like, you're safe. And all of a sudden we hear the decision, oh my God, we gotta evacuate these guys because the Russians are gonna stop eventually. They can't make it further. Remember, this is a Ukrainian media outlet, Ukrainska Pravda, and it's from today, the 19th of March. Now this right here is again from the 19th of March, and this is from Ukrinform, which is again a governmental newspaper, whatever it is. All children evacuated. Now, this can also be played. I think that was the goal of the article with the iPad, which is Yashir, whatever her name is. Let me see, Chasiv Yar. So in that case, they were making probably the case that was brought to the so-called international whatever court that issued a warrant for Putin, knowing that Russia is not a signatory, so it has no jurisdiction over there, this international court. International because it's international, it has more than one country, that's what it is. Because if you look, I made a video yesterday, I think, when he was issued a warrant, I think it was 2 days ago, when the warrant was issued for Putin's arrest. United States is not a signatory of this ICC, International Criminal Court either. But there's many others that are not, like China, India, and probably has a majority of countries, but nevertheless has no jurisdiction in Russia. So probably this article was written with the intention of showing that, you see, they're afraid, which is good. The kids should be evacuated. The war should not be around anyway. But I think this is somehow related to showing that, hey, Putin, because the warrant was issued because Putin is responsible for killing children and transferring children to Russia, and those are the charges against Putin. And here now they want to say, see, we're taking care of children because that dude is going to come and kill them and have a little bath in blood of the children. As, if I remember correctly, it was another queen from the Western countries that did that, wasn't she? But anyway, it was just a, how do you call that, a myth. It was just a story. All right, let's go back to this article. The local military administration evacuated all children from the town of Chasiv Yar in the war-torn Donetsk region. This was reported by blah 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 with a reference to the chief of the local town military administration. And I'm quoting, "There are no children in Chasiv Yar, at least the last ones were evacuated the day before yesterday with a joint efforts to our military administration, the police and the White Angels group. We did this. It was difficult, painful, but we did it." Very good, very good. So he said that as reported earlier, throughout the day, the Russian army has shelled Donetsk regions 21 times, as a result of which police officers were injured and 35 residential buildings were damaged. And that's it about this article. Now, we have this map of Ukraine. It's provided by Sputnik, by the evil Russians, from the 19th of March 2023. And this is where the front line actually is. I'm going to go to Artemovsk right here. This is how the Russians and the Soviets used to call Bakhmut. So I'm going to compare this map a little bit with this one right here, the first one, correct? And it shows like they're almost, closing. If this would just go down south and go north, it would just be for Chasiv Yar. Now the Russians call Chasiv Yar Chasiv Yar. So it's very accurate. So it's not something that either of the sides made up. The Russians are advancing this way and this way. So I think this is a little bit of an exaggeration that the Russians stalled. Otherwise, you would not have given the order to evacuate these guys here now and not, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, when really the Russian army was in full swing, right? Right, let's see what the Russians talk about Bakhmut. There is fighting in the city. So that's what it is with Bakhmut at this point. The reason for making this video is just to give you a little example of how you can learn about something from something else that really has no intention of revealing. Remember, the article with the Chasiv Yar was not supposed to tell us about the Russian advancement or lack of. It was just to tell us that the children are evacuated. That's great. But if you make the connection with this, you realize that these guys are either, I think they're, I don't want to say lying, but at least, first I would say I think they're lying, or at least they're not telling the truth, which is the same thing. Why? Because otherwise you would not get these kids out now. Because now, this article tells us it's safer than it was 2 days ago, 5 days ago, a week ago, when the Russians were coming. The Russians was coming. Hey, don't go anywhere, because they stopped. They're just inertia. Say, don't worry about it. A week ago, yeah, let's go. All right, that's what it is, my friends. And just as a little disclaimer here, they all lie. But both articles came from the same side, which is the Ukrainian side. Pretty sure the Russians are doing the same thing, and everybody else. I made some other videos showing this kind of, finding out about here from another article that was really not related directly with that subject. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.